Good evening. It's Thursday today, apparently. I'm having to take advice on that one. So, let's get down to business. So, as we left it yesterday, we had completed the hump square. For which, for no apparent reason, much like Wednesdays, I have a real problem with that square in the middle. It just drags my soul under, and I can't quite explain it. And yet, I put it there for goodness sake. It's not like I don't like it. It just, for some reason, it's the hump square. Let's just be honest. Because the moment you've done that, you've gone from not even halfway to you're over halfway. And I guess that's part of the problem, is that there is a bit of my brain kind of going, aren't we there yet? And, well, yeah, so let's have a look, see where we're at. Oh, my bobbins seem long. Why are they so long? Right, let's look. You two have done your thing there, you're that, you're next. So let's sort this out a bit. There we go. Oops. Oh, that's not right. You need to come out for a moment. No. A minute ago, it looked like you had no threads in front of you, and suddenly, now you do. How weird. Right. Whatever. Right. So. This is a really wonky bobbin. Right. It's nice if your bobbins are actually on your pillow. Oh, this finger is very sore. I'm almost certainly getting some form of arthritis in it. Anyway. Hang on. That's a good point. Let me just check something. I wanted to check because I like a Muppet. to look at. Okay, well, that's okay. Sorry, I just wanted to check something. I made a mistake earlier today. Nothing major, you know, it's not like I burnt the house down or anything. But I left the gas hob on. And it had been on for like 4 hours or something. And it just dawned on me, how much did that actually cost me? something. Hang on. Let's have a quick look. me this thread and move it. Because it needs to go where that pin is. There we go. But that looks like more than one cross. This feels wrong. This normally goes one further than this. Where is this wrong? There. Right. Back we go, children. Rewind. What's he whining about now? Right, so we went wrong somewhere in this vicinity. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I see there that I need to go back one more. Now this does not, because you should already be out and in the thing. And here, we didn't add one. So we need to add one. Put the pin in. Itchy, 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 itchy. See, this is what annoys me about these bobbins, is you get stuff like this where you almost can't see how they end up this tangled, and in undoing it, you inevitably make a pickle. Considering mere moments ago we were using it, how do they do that? It's the only thing I don't like about these bobbins. One, two, three, four, five. I still can't get over how bent this bobbin is. Getting backache, trying to sit around dogs, and once again the angle of sitting is kind of that direction. Yeah, kind of that direction. And well, if I sit comfortably, my arm only reaches this far, so it gives you an idea of the awkwardness of dog. Problem is I can't find a way of sorting this all out so that I can have the mouse and keyboard in a comfortable and sensible location, and my lace pad, because, well, it's not a small thing. So, and sit comfortably. That I can do one, sort of 2 out of 3. Now, I can sit comfortably with the lace pad, but then I can't reach the computer. Or I can reach the computer and sit comfortably, but not the lace pad. There doesn't seem to be there does seem to be a semi-sweet spot where it's least bad, but there is no good spot, if you understand. Two, 3, 4, 5. This goes. Right. Let's see how we do. Doing not so bad, It's going okay. We've got 3 sections to go, and one of them is quite small. This one. So, to be honest, it's going not so bad. It really is. Now, we do strike the inevitable issue of normally when I get to the end of a triangle, I end the stream for the day, just because it's a great place to stop. But tomorrow, being the afternoon, well, there's no doubt that, let's say for sake of the argument, I stopped right here. Well, then completing this will give you, a fairly short stream tomorrow. The more I do today, if I don't get to the end, bear in mind it's 8 o'clock, if I didn't get to the end, so say tomorrow we're ready to start a new triangle, tomorrow's stream gets progressively I almost get to here, do 40 minutes ago, right, that's us done, bye. It's not really the done deal, so we do need to do well today, which is complicated. Slightly pinned myself, pardon the fanar on that one. So, I need 2 of you and 4 of you. Come on, and chicken. 4 of you, like that, right. But I do wish I didn't spend half my life re-shortening the bobbins. I hardly ever seem to lengthen them. I mean, I do occasionally, but it's very rare. It's nearly always shortening. Now, this defies logic, because, of course, I should need to lengthen them. And if you hear snoring dog, I'm sorry if you hear snoring dog. For dog be snoreth, and lying right next to me. In fact, under my arm. Do that a sec. Roll you up. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good at all. Considering that worked out, this is confusing. So, this is wrong somehow. This is wrong. There's wrongness in the force. So, how is there wrongness in the force? Well, these two are coming out of here, which is the bottom half of this and the top half of this, and this one should be the bottom. But there's this one should be here, but it's not because I needed two. So clearly I have fucked it up somewhere. And for some reason, whenever I undo this, I always get it wrong. Right. Somehow that was far more effort than it should have been. So it should be cross, twist, cross, and then one of those, steal a pin, one of those, find the pin from in there, there it is. So, find the pin head so I can extract it out of it. Right. The problem is, if you look at these two, let's undo the magic doodah, there is no threads coming out from that pin back there. So we ain't fucking up, which is fine. Mistakes happen. But it seemed to add up when we got to the bottom, and looking the other side, it doesn't look like I missed anything. Which means it shouldn't add up, but it did. So clearly, and I seem to recall, we struggled with this. I say we, obviously you watched, I didn't. I did all the work. So I clearly screwed up, but I screwed up a lot more than I thought I did. Because I remember us doing stuff with this and having to redo a chunk of it, and moaning because I was tired, because, well, hello, you know, stay of the week. But no, it didn't add up, but somehow I made it add up. So, well, that's where that went wrong then. So let's sort this out a bit. Right, take you out. See, all these bobbins are just that little bit too long and are slightly annoying. And I'm getting really fed up of shortening bobbins, and we're not even halfway through this neck curtain. I need to find better knots. I will summon Naughty and his knots. Because this half-hitch shit is just doing my head in, and it's clearly not doing what it should, you know? And so, if I can summon Naughty at some point and ask him, what the fuck, that might be a plan. Let's move this because we're going to need the space. Right. So we undo this one. Why is it you never do it at the bottom? Only ever do it at the top. Let's make you a lot shorter. So, and now I'm getting hot. my heating kicked in? No, I don't know what's wrong with it. Let me take my jumper off. In rare form, should not need to take my jumper off. It's winter, for Christ's sake. Spring. But let's take jumper off because it's chopping the blood off to my arms. Rather painfully. Oh, and making them itch. Right. So. Let's do that, see if that helps some of this annoyance that you're doing. Because you're all just growing constantly, and I haven't got the patience for this. Not after this week, so let's shorten you. And of course, I know that I haven't got much longer with these bobbins because, well, technically some of them are already out of the count and they've had to be rewoken to do this, but let's do all of them because, well, my patience is that short. Do this. You were behaving, but you can join your friends. And go round that way. Oh dear me. this is where it goes wrong. So we need to work out kind of what I did wrong, because the answer is there should not be 5. You need to come out and the pin in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is right, because then you go out and there should be 3, which there is. 1, 2, 3. And then you add 1 to make 4, and you put a pin in. So now we go back. One, 2, 3, 4. You go back in there. You're out there. There's the 3. You pick up 1. One, 2, 3, 4. You go here. You need to be now I need to check that these 2 are indeed the right 2. But I need to take a breath first. Yep, they're the right ones. You're now out. 1, 2, 3. You come in there. You're out. Now that there are 2, which is right. You go in there. You're out, which leaves you 2, which is right. You go in there, like this. Go in the hole, thank you. And you're out. There, that's that sorted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That all adds up now. You can get the special knot, because you're all going to get changed this, because I am so tired of shortening bobbins. Has anyone got a spare back they could lend me? My toesies have gone to sleep. So, you could all be slightly longer, but I'm not going to worry about that for a minute. This is where we discovered that it was wrong, so now we should be good. I'm going to make you slightly longer. You are done. Well, it reminds me, as he's still pinging me the crap at me, just need to go in here. Now we need you. I need to move the base of that so I can move my foot. That should be a bit better. Right. Let's see if this helps. Feels like you're a little bit off. There you go. getting a headache. But I'm determined to get to the end of this triangle. But I also want to do something else this evening, so never mind. Life complicates itself. Goodness me, how painful. I'm going to throw up the stupid thing and go and get some painkillers. I shall be right back. Well, we did pretty poorly on that, didn't we? Let's do another one, just for a laugh. Is it ignoring me? Did I spell that wrong? I know. It's not going to accept it, is it? See, I hate the way it ignores you and doesn't say I ignored you. See, Wraith, Wrath should work, but it's not. Of course, the other problem is it's American. See, how can these not be words? There are words, stupid game. Stupid game. It really doesn't help that, of course, it doesn't say to you American spelling and not being American. I don't know, because, you spell things differently. I mean, I know a lot of them, but... yes. If you actually look, when you type a word, a lock appears next to it. Once the lock has gone, you can type a new word. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hey, Zukin! No judging. Well, this isn't going to count. It's a word. But apparently not to you lot. Why is it with you lot on words? I do hate the fact that it's not like it gives you a bonus word for finding a word that they don't have on screen. It just goes, no. And it doesn't say no, but nice word. It just goes, no. We failed as that one as well, I think. Yeah. Screw that. Right. Ah, dear me. That's just... It makes it hard work. It really, really does. Can we not be... I have played ones like that. There's a very, very, very similar game for your phone. And... when you play it, but you get a word that's a valid word, but it's not one of the ones they were thinking of, they at least have the decency to give you, a bonus point or, and say, well done, you thought of a word, it's a bonus word, here's a point. That just ignores you. It doesn't literally ignores you, and that to me is really difficult. I have enough problems spelling words at the best of times. I'm sure Suzuki's here checking on why I'm not doing something else. I will when I've finished, okay? But I feel I ought to do some of this, so here I am. I've done a fair few hours, you may have noticed. If you actually could look at my account, you'll find that I've done a fair few hours. It's not like I'm slacking it. But I do kind of want to get to the end of this triangle. Yeah. It's not 5, but it helps keep them out lighter. So let's put you on a stick. Right. And then slide you around. And next one's come out of there. You get shorter. This is the really bent one. Watch the end of this. It goes round. This bit is really bent. There's actually a more bent one somewhere, but that one's pretty bent. It doesn't affect how it works. It just means that as you roll it up, it looks really weird. It goes all wiggly. And then you got this one that is the like thinnest bobbin of all time. I mean, look at the difference between. Right, so. Getting there, people. We are getting there. Very slowly, but we are getting there. Wind this bobbin up because it's got wonkiness. Look, I mean, this is how much I've had to go back, so it's going to take a while. Yeah, you know, talk amongst yourselves. I'm quite good at winding up my bobbins, but it's just not fun, you know. See, I'm no slouch. I can wind a bobbin. But not that. Right. And we need you. Well, if you noticed earlier, I had to undo a chunk of what I did yesterday and redo a chunk of some of the earlier stuff I did today, and it. I mean, I have made progress. Technically, I've made progress. I've done this little bar and this small amount of square here, but other than that, not so much. I am determined to get to this triangle, but it's 9:10, and as I've alluded with Zukin, there is something else I'd like to be doing, but I want to do this because then tomorrow's stream in the afternoon, I will be all good. Why are you twisted so much? You shouldn't be twisted this much, especially the wrong way. So you go that way, right? I have to admit, my heart has not been in making lace this week, along with the joys of some of the things at work, which, the worst thing is all the things at work, part of the reason they get me down is because they're unnecessary. They're not, it's not the is your work boring thing, because, every job's got an element of boring, repetitive to it. But it is like today, I had a number of meetings and talk was had. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changed as a result of any of these meetings. Nothing has progressed. Nothing is different. Nothing is going to be better. Nothing is even going to be worse. We just wasted life having a meeting. And I just, it's just... I will confess to alternative entertainment occasionally during meetings that I am not really privy to. I went on one meeting this morning and it was all, I'll work with Lizzie Skywalker, because obviously I'm not going to name them, but, and we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do the other. And it's like, well, if you're going to do everything with them and completely ignore me and I'm just going to sit here like chopped liver, why am I here? And it was kind of like, Liz, if you're going to come and... No, not that I really didn't need to be here, did I? You've already decided to do this with so-and-so, and well, so-and-so's only half a resource in what I do. And so, what if they're busy? Oh, well, that's fine. You're going to do it with so-and-so. Well, then you do that. I'll let you. And, you've done it before. I've warned you a couple of times because they asked my co-worker for a list that would take about 30 seconds to make. And it took him 2 weeks. And I kind of went, why have you asked so-and-so for this? And it was like, oh, well, they knew all about it. They knew all about it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, because we had a meeting. And you're like, well, first of all, why was there a meeting that involved only some of us? Secondly, if he knows all about it, that's really great. That's not how you're supposed to be. But you're telling me that, you know, he knows all about it, but he's on holiday today, and, well, I could do it, and it'd take me 30 seconds. Oh, great. I said, but you've allocated it him, so I'm going to leave it, because you've obviously discussed it, and you didn't need me to butt in and be able to do it quicker for you. You know, next time, you know, have you considered asking before you pick who's doing it? Let's get that up briefly. There was nearly a mistake of the day maker. So, and, you know, I mentioned it in passing to my boss when we were discussing something else. And I said, you know, I'm finding it a little frustrating that, you know, tickets are automatically logged and assigned to my co-worker, and things, you know, they're in meetings, but they're not passing on what's been said, so I can't answer any of those questions. And it was like, well, you know, they'll be leaving soon. And it's like, yeah, I know. They'll have to change then. And then when they say, oh, Liz, can you do this? I'll be, I don't know nothing about it. And it's like, oh, well, that's not good. And I went, no, I know, but I can't force them. Well, it's just one of those things is that it's something I've noticed a few times. Now, I know this happens in all companies, so this is not a dig at my employer. But there are lots of times when, for example, managers are planning something. So whether it's buying a company, whether it's changing something, you know, changing allegiance in some supplier, whatever it is, right? And they will have lots of secret meetings to discuss the choices, the outcomes, and how it will all work. Even though, of course, they don't do it, so chances are they're wrong. And they then kind of come along, and in meeting, they'll kind of go, well, of course, insert new supplier will be blah, blah, blah. And everyone goes, who's that? And they'll go, we've been talking about this for months. No, love. You have talked about this for months. The rest of us were distinctly uninvited in the conversations about all of this. So yes, you have been aware of this for months. You have been planning and living this shit for 6 months, 9 months, maybe years. This is the very first time we have heard these words mentioned, and these words do not mean anything to us. So you're now saying that all of this stuff that we do or whatever is going to have to change, and you know, it's not going to be like this, and we're, you know, have you really thought this through? Because, well, you know, insert lots of potentially technical reasons as to why such and such is not necessarily better, faster, cheaper, whatever, right? And it's like, well, it's been decided, and yeah, but not by people who actually know. You know, it would be a bit like the secretaries deciding that, you know, where all of the supplies for a medical hospital should come from. They don't use them. They don't know, because if any of you have medication for anything, frankly, most of you will agree that to an extent, if you're on a kind of, let's call it a permanent medication for something, so I'm on permanent medication for migraines, I can tell you now that company A, who make this particular variety of crap, it's called the same thing, so it's the same kind of recipe and all of that. Theirs has slightly different side effects to company B, who make allegedly the exact same stuff, but it doesn't work as well, or it works differently, or it gives you side effects whereas the other one doesn't. So sometimes when you get given from the pharmacy, you know, oh yes, you have headache pill number 22, here you go, and you go, is there any chance I could have the other ones? Oh, what do you mean, madam? Well, the other make of these. Well, they're all the same. No, they're not. No, they're not. But unless you eat them, only you know how they react to your body. And, you know, it becomes the frustration of the worker who does all the work, who has to live with the consequences, versus the ivory tower, but it saves us 20 cents per, you know, million or whatever. And it's like, I get that, but it's going to cost you $5 a million to actually live with this decision. Yeah, but we'll save 20 cents. No, you don't. It costs you $4.80. Can you live it, you know? And I've seen this a lot, and I call it my ivory tower syndrome, because it's not necessarily a wrong decision. The idea and the logic is a valid question and a valid principle. However, the practicalities thereof slightly defeat the whole point. And yeah, I've seen too many of them. I'm too old. There's too many of them. And in this particular case, I'm struggling with the fact that people go to my co-worker because instead of abiding by any of the rules and regulations, they just agree to it and do it. And then I get in the crap because such and such has been done and it's not secure. And it's like, well, I didn't do that. I never agreed to that. I didn't know it had been done. And yet somehow it's still my fault. And so from that point of view, it is uncomfortable. New employer is a lot better with that, I think. In the, if I say, well, I didn't do it. Yes, it does. Well, sometimes it is as simple as what they coat them with. Seriously, it can be as simple as the colouring. It can be the coating. It's my ex-husband has heart pressure and you know, kind of pills. And if he gets one of them, he reacts violently. If he gets another one, he's great. Well, funny, you know, it really, 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 really does matter. It is those tiny little things can make such a chronic difference, especially to anything that is long term, because your body has, I don't know, adjusted to company A, and although company A's may be arguably no better, no worse for you, your body is going, oh, I'll accept this stuff. You know, I'm used to it. I'm in the routine with it. I'm good with it. You then get company B's, and you know it's got slightly different coating. So it absorbs slightly differently, or your body eats away at it slightly differently, and it just kind of, it is amazing how it can make such a huge difference when, on face value, how it's made of, you know, 15 micrograms of insert activeness and an awful lot of waste product to make it so that it's big enough that you can find it. Which, let's face it, is often half the deal. But sometimes it, of course, is what's in the waste product. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used to work for a company who monitor all of the drug sales in the UK. All of them. And produce fancy-ass reports. And so I learn an awful lot about drugs in those times. Not, you know, what they taste like and what they do, but, well, some of them I do, and some of the categories and, you know, the makers thereof. And I'll tell you now, one of the most surprising figures is the number of people in the UK who actively choose to purchase direct from the pharmacy, so not prescribed by a doctor, of their, so it's not like doctor said, well, I think it would do better if you had, right? No. They have picked this out of their own choice. Paracetamol, you know, very boring, fairly ineffectual pain relief. Good for fevers though, but fairly ineffectual at pain relief. Suppositories. There are a significant number of people in the UK who, by personal choice, go to the pharmacy and ask for, please can I have paracetamol suppositories? Now, it's not because they've got bum ache, because it doesn't work like that. Now, I do know, as someone who is not very good at swallowing pills, but that's an out hole. suppositories are not a pleasant thought. So, not fully understanding that one. A few, maybe because child will spit it out, whatever. But I'm talking really significant numbers, right? I'm talking like holy crap numbers. Something like 30%. It's like, what? Yeah. So yeah, I learned quite a lot doing that. Well, very. But it is one of those. Yeah, as I say, you can understand that maybe you've got an awkward child. Gonna use my own category, some of the autistic people. But then, to be honest, if you try to shove something up my butt as an autistic person, you've just declared war, love. So I can't see that being an easy thing. But I can for really small minors, for really small kids, babies. I can understand it. But these are not the children level drunks. These are the adult ones. These are the normal for normal human beings kind of. So yeah, really, as you say, people, but it is kind of one of those, I wish I could ask them why. Now I want to understand why. Why do you do this? And why can I hear banging outside? I will say to Zukin, if he's still listening, that Path of Exile comes out. Is it tomorrow? It's either tomorrow or Saturday, soon anyway. I think it's tomorrow. And I was really, really pumped about the whole Path of Exile 2 patch, because obviously, while they're, kind of early access, there, is a significant chunk of new content and all of that kind of stuff. And you know what? Since the beginning of the week, I don't really care. I would like to congratulate you. I really don't care now. I've got better things to do. Yeah. Oh well. I'm listening to someone reading the patch notes for it, and reading and discussing the patch notes for the Path of Exile 2 thing. And basically the whole world's hating on it, and it's kind of like, oh, they've nerfed this, because you know how gamers are, we whine when you nerf stuff, and we never say thank you when you don't, because that's how gaming works. And so I'm sitting there, and it's kind of like, so they've nerfed this, oh, they've nerfed that, oh, they've nerfed this, it's the wrong way around, the other side. And oh, this is going to be terrible. Well, you considered that you probably shouldn't have been hitting things for a few million and, running around with like 40k mana or something. I mean, you consider that was not really kind of what was intended. It's hardly a nerf. It's called putting it right. Which reminds me, I need to flag something with you that I found earlier. Now, I am going to say I'm quite happy about it, but it's not what you intended. Let's put these in a stick. I did log the bug, but no one's noticed. So I'm going to tell you directly so you can have a good look. Because you'll want to fix that one. I mean, I don't want you to fix it, because I quite like it, but, There we go. So that goes up there like that. No, I need to add you at this point. Nearly forgot. Bad me. That would have made life really complicated. That goes in there. And then you immediately are done with. That was you sorted. Okay, so there. You're out. You're out, which leaves you, which is the correct one for the corner. We like it when it adds up. And you are sorted. So 2 of you need to go in here. Like that. You are to go in a stick. And we're on the homeward straight, my friends. To the corner of the triangle. For the triangle, it be here. Let's put you up here. We are literally a triangle away. Eep. We should be good. We should be good. I just need to find a better way of sitting. I know I've been saying that for 6 months now. I keep tweaking it, but then you get the... You can't see them, you really can't. But these snoozy dogs on the couch. I've got Miss Nesty Nest in my cushions to the left of me. And I have Mr. Paws, who has curled up between the cushion I have this end of the thing, just for him, by the way, and my jumper, the pile of cloths that live on top of my pillow, and the blanket thing, which is this thing here, and he's kind of buried his head in it, and he is fast asleep. Bless his little furry face. Right. But we're best behaved when asleep, so like all good dog owners, you try not to disturb them because, well, that's when they're best behaved. A bit like children, you know. Do not disturb and rock the status quo. You will regret it. So, let's Oh, he's moved. Oh, the stress. Oh, the dirty look. Oh, dear me. Did I imply that Sir is being lazy? Yes, I did. And I own your furry soul. But I must place the food order, or we're all going to starve over the weekend. So don't be pretending like it's only you. Because I haven't had dinner yet either. And I did briefly think about a great thing I could eat for tea. Oh, I know what it was. Breakfast. That's what it was. Because I'm running a bit low on everything. But I can have some breakfast for tea. So, and then the man will bring us food tomorrow, hopefully, which I've got to order before a certain time tonight. Otherwise, he can't come tomorrow. And then you can have more food because your food is running low. And I'll have more food. We'll have lots of snacks. Because, well, snacks are a thing. And everyone will be happy. Because you got a big box of doggy snacks the end of last week. And I mean big back box. We're talking a like 30 kilo box. Or what? I think it's actually 12 kilos of dog snacks. But of dog snacks, that's a lot of dog snacks. So, let's finish doing these so that these don't annoy me. I didn't do all of the ones in the middle. Probably should have done. because this does seem to be holding for now, because we've seen this before. Oh, this seems to help. 2 weeks later, I hate these bobbins. Yeah. I don't hate these bobbins, I just hate the fact that I seem to spend my entire life shortening them. Right, so you need twisting, and off we go. These are all a little bit close, so I should have made them longer, but the problem is I don't really want to make them longer when they go off the bottom of the pillow. But they're now kind of in the way. Now, that was nearly awkward. I haven't pushed down these pins. Hang on. Oh, Fleece and V, I do feel for you. Have you put in a lifeline? Because you can always use like a piece of yarn as a lifeline. Rather than needles, you can put in a lifeline and you just kind of pick up a leg of the right leg of every single stitch and off you go. That's it, done. I think it's the right leg, I'd have to check. Might be the left one. Yeah, I think it's the left one of knit stitches anyway. So if you pick up all the left legs of knit stitches, for example, it'll just work because you can just go rip, 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 rip. And then one of the things that I would do is I would use an interchangeable needle with a cable on the end. Well, you see, yeah, but that's my point, is the lifeline can be made after the fact and done with yarn. But my favourite thing to do is use a circular needle or an interchangeable needle. So even if it's a smaller size circular needle, doesn't matter, right? As long as the cable's kind of long enough to go from side A to side B or all the way around, whatever, you can pick up all the legs, slide it in as a lifeline, and then, especially if you've used a circular needle, you then just knit off it onto the proper ones and off you go. Good tip, that one. That works really, really well. Well, and don't get me wrong, it also depends, of course, of how big it is. But when you're talking a king-size bedspread, I can assure you now, it's so worth doing. Because when I had to do that, I had to undo about 12 inches of my king-size bedspread because I thought when I started I'd used a particular colour of yarn, and I was wrong. I got it wrong. And when I ordered more, because, well, I started before I'd got my order, but I had, quote, some already. I started with that, and it was a batchless yarn, so it shouldn't matter. And I fell for it, because it was right. It is batchless yarn. But you do have to buy the same colour. Because I'd gone from... Because, like, the problem is, and this will sound really funny to people who don't knit and do crafty things, there's, like, antique white, there's off-white, there's soft white, and there's white. Now, to you and me, there's white. It's white, or it's white with a hint of insert colour, maybe at best. But no. In terms of yarns, there's like soft white, bright white, white that once thought it was not white. And of course, when I started it, I meant to start with soft white, so it's kind of white, but it's not like day glow glaring in the sunshine white, but it is properly white. Apparently I started with like off white, so of course when I put the two together, it was the difference of this brown paper versus this white. And the first row, because when you knit, the row you've just done is over your needle, so it's looped over a needle, and the body of your work is underneath, so it's not that obvious. And when you do the second row, because I was using a kind of brown colour, it didn't really show up because the predominance was brown on the second row. Well, by the third row, it's only really one row on show at the front, so you have to get to 4 rows before there's 2. Well, it looked like there was a difference, but it wasn't blatantly, screamingly. It was only once I'd done quite a bit, and then I kind of, because you're nitty, and then at the end of the week, I'm kind of looking at it from a bit further back, and my brain goes, why is there such a line of, kind of like tea coloured and white coloured? Was it really that dirty? Was my old yarn really that bad? And then I worked out what the problem was. And I was really annoyed because I now needed to buy a load more yarn because, of course, I was not going to go back to the start and do it with the right colour, even though that was the colour I'd intended to use. I now had to order a crap ton of, dirtier white yarn, and it was like, shit. and this was in the days when Red Heart shipped to the UK, which they don't anymore, so. But yeah, that was the mood of the day was, do not breathe within 5 miles of me for I will eat you, kind of moment, because I had to go back an entire week's worth of knitting, and I'd already had the cable break on it and had to sort that out, which there was something like 800, it was around 800 stitches a row, and so this was not funny. This was not something I took lightly to, I was not a happy bunny. Well, it's funny enough, an awful lot of these crafting hobbies are stressful, and yet they're somehow good for our mental health. And I mean, you've seen me do this and get really stressed because I've screwed it up and can't work out how I've done it, and I've got to go back and redo things and all of those kind of moments. And there is this bit of you that's kind of going, I thought I was supposed to enjoy this. Yeah, why can I not find? There it is. Well, and that's the. It is. Crafting is definitely. And sometimes you fuck up monumentally, and it is initially soul destroying, right? Oh well, that's. Now I'm having to let them down because they're not growing by themselves. This is how it's supposed to work. Good night, Face and B. Maybe see you tomorrow. Have a good snooze. You deserve it. take care, Zukin. Thank you for coming. I'll send you a message about the thing I wanted to bring to your attention once I'm done. I know you'll look at it later. It's not really a you thing, but, you know, I want to bring it up in front of somebody, so... No worries. Take care, mister. finished the triangle! Hurrah! Hurrah! All hail the finishing of the triangle! For I have finished it, the triangle. It is done. Now, of course, we find ourselves in a position like we did last time, which is when I turn the corner, all these wretched pins are going to be in the way. Because they were really annoying last time. But it is working out pretty well. Otherwise, there's a few back here that can come out there. Donk. And you. And you. Oh, look. So, as in time-honoured tradition, we will review the triangle. And already, I fucked up here. There's something weird here. And that's just the bit that I just uncovered. Let alone the bit that we still can't see. So, not a perfect triangle. Shocker. Ouch. Let's put these in Hedgehog, who is sitting over here very patiently. So that's a good thing. Now, if I leave all of these up this side and push you over here and put you in the corner for work tomorrow, if I rotate the pillow around like this, all the bobbins are out the way and I can uncover. Sorry, dog. Yes, I know, little man. I know. We'll cover up the bobbins and the pins. Because it only has to survive 5 hours, so cover up these. More covering up of those. And then put the heavyweight duty cover it stuff over the top of that. This works really well as insulation against the heat of the laptop, so but that's me done for today. For we have finished the triangle, and as I said, it is the best place to call it quits. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into progress and into there and click green, and I'm going to update my little pretty picture to show that we have done 3/4 of a square. Because, well, we have. Go us. And I always say us and we because, well, without you, it wouldn't be as much fun, that's for sure. I have to admit that. So it is a we effort. I very much include you in this. There you go. So we now have done that. I will also remember to change this to say 28 and 28 so that there we go. Thank you for accompanying me this evening. It is 10 o'clock at night, so I will love you and leave you, and I shall be here from 2 p.m. tomorrow, so that's -8 hours from now, for a chunk of tomorrow. So until then, take care and have a good evening where you are. Bye bye.